Good morning to all of you. So in this video lecture we are going to see the subject automobile engineering CME 380. So in this we are going to see about unit 1 video lecture 3. In this the topic we are going to handle is IC engine components and functions. So first of all we can see the layout of the IC engine diagram. So in that what all the components we have see I will read out. Inlet valve, exhaust valve, inlet manifold, exhaust manifold, then air, fuel, that intake is given, as well as the cylinder head is given, and the cylinder walls is also given in the diagram. Then piston, gudgeon pin, connecting rod, cylinder block, then crankshaft, crank pin, crank, then crankshaft, everything is given in the diagram. So we can we have listed out the components, and then the next slides upon we can see the functions of the various components of the IC engines. Now we can see the components of the engines one by one. First of all, the main thing is the cylinder block. The cylinder block is the main supporting structure of the various components. The cylinder of a multi-cylinder engine is cast in a single unit called cylinder block. The cylinder head is mounted on the cylinder block. The cylinder head and cylinder block are provided with water jackets in case of water cooling, and with cooling fins in case of air cooling. Cylinder head gasket is incorporated between the cylinder block and cylinder head. The cylinder head is held tight to the cylinder block by a number of bolts or studs. The bottom portion of the cylinder block is called as crankcase. A cover called as crankcase, which becomes a sump of lubrication oil, is fastened to the bottom of the crankcase. The inner surface of the cylinder is machined accurately to get the cylindrical shape. Next we can see about cylinder and piston. As the name implies, it is a cylindrical vessel or shape or space in which the piston makes a reciprocating motion. The varying volume created in the cylinder during the operation of the engine is filled with the working fluid and subjected to different thermodynamic processes. The cylinder is supported in the cylinder block. Next part is piston. It is cylindrical component fitted into the cylinder, forming the moving boundary of the combustion system. It fits perfectly into the cylinder, providing a gas-tight space with the piston rings and lubricant. It forms the first link in transmitting the gas forces to the output shaft. Next comes the combustion chamber, the space enclosed in the upper part of the cylinder by the cylinder head and the piston top during the combustion process is called the combustion chamber. The combustion of fuel and the consequent release of thermal energy results in the building up of pressure in this part of the cylinder. Next one is inlet manifold, the pipe which connects the intake system to the inlet valve of the engine, through which air or air-fuel mixture is drawn into the cylinder, is called as inlet manifold. Then the next one is gudgeon pin. It forms the link between the small end of the connecting rod and the piston. Then the next one is exhaust manifold. The pipe that connects the exhaust system to the exhaust valve of the engine, and through which the products of the combustion escape gases into the atmosphere, is called as the exhaust manifold. Next we can see about the inlet and exhaust valve. Valves are commonly mushroom-shaped poppet type. They are provided either on the cylinder head or on the side of the cylinder for regulating the charge coming to the cylinder inlet valve, and for discharging the products of the combustion exhaust valve from the cylinder. Next one is the connecting rod. It interconnects the piston and the crankshaft and transmits the gas forces from the piston to the crankshaft. The two ends of the connecting rods are called as small end and big end. Small end is connected to the piston by the gudgeon pin, and the big end is connected to the crankshaft by the crank pin. Crankshaft. The next one is crankshaft. It converts the reciprocating motion of the piston into useful rotary motion of the output shaft. In the crankshaft of a single cylinder engine, there is a pair of crank arms and balance weights. The balance weights are provided for static and dynamic balancing of the rotating system. The crankshaft is enclosed in a crankcase. The next one is the piston rings. The piston rings fitted to the slots around the piston provide a tight seal between the piston and the cylinder wall, thus preventing leakage of the combustion gases. Next is the camshaft. The camshaft and its associated parts control the opening and closing of the two valves. The associated parts are push rods, rocker arms, valve springs, and tappets. This shaft also provides the drive into the ignition system. The camshaft is driven by the crankshaft through timing gears. The cams. These are made as internal parts of the camshaft and are designed in such a way to open the valves to connect timing to keep them open for necessary duration. Flywheel. The net torque imparted to the crankshaft during the one complete cycle of operation of the engine fluctuates, causing a change in mechanism. This is being the torque is being evenly supplied with the help of the flywheel. The remaining topics you can see in the next slide. Thank you.